Welcome to Melbourne, a city that is built for spectacle as the Elite 15 take the stage for the very first major on Australian soil. All eyes are on Joanna Wietrzyk. Can she complete a historic double right here in one of the sporting capitals of the world?
In a city that's known for turning underdogs into icons, anything can happen once the athletes step onto the grid. So hold your breath, we're gonna kick it off with a bang. Our women's Elite 15. The race starts now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. The race is on, our Elite 15 race. And hey, guess what? Tim Vinish has taken the lead. Who would have thought that? So Dylan Scott really playing it safe. They're not willing to use the full box anymore because the next one is a penalty. More problems for Lena Putas there. But Vivian Tufudo is the biggest mover right now. Joanna Wietrzyk is making the point of, he sets a new world record. The world champion is back.
That electric energy from Hamburg has transferred all the way around the world to Melbourne in Australia. Australia, as the locals say. Welcome to the second Elite 15 major of the season. And of course, another opportunity for our athletes to book their tickets to the World Championships in June in Stockholm. This is episode number 2, gentlemen, down under and suffering a little bit of jet lag. I am joined by Till Schenk and Greg Williams of The Rocks Life. How excited are you to be here?
Beyond excited. I would say it's like an even split between jet lag and excitement here. It's a 12 out of 10 for both of them. This is going to be wild, and I have no doubt once this race starts, I'll wake up as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Long journey here, but really exciting lineups. The standard tonight is incredible, and can't wait for it to unfold.
Before we delve into the excitement to come, let's take a little look back on the headlines from Hamburg. And of course, Joanna Wietrzyk securing the second win of her career in the majors. An unbelievable performance from the young athlete. And the question is, can she do the double tonight? There are going to be plenty of athletes who are going to stop her. But what else? Hamburg, where did that leave us?
I mean, Hamburg was absolutely wild. You know, it's like I'm thinking, Vivian, where did you come from to Fudo? I mean, like, you know, she's got this, there we see her on screen, she's got this, like, demeanor as if she's doing this as a hobby, and there she was, really giving Joanna a run for the money, only seconds behind. That was amazing to see.
Yeah, and aside from the performance is the venue. We're in an elite-specific venue tonight. We were in Hamburg as well. It's an incredible setup that they've got this year. We're going to see that in every race next season. The atmosphere is incredible. There's a lot of laps per run that the athletes have to do, so counting is a factor. But yeah, great little venue we're in.
It was a great way to start the calendar year, but of course, it's going to take us all over the globe this season. And whilst we started in Germany, in Hamburg, we are then headed on over to Australia. Next up, it's going to be Phoenix in the USA in the new year, and Warsaw, Poland will round out the majors. But then, of course, we have the regionals as well. It's passported racing. It's going to take us back down under to Brisbane, but also to London, to Washington, DC, before culminating in Stockholm for the grand finale, the World Championships. Greg, how are the guys tonight going to get there?
Yeah, so this is the second major of the season. 3 athletes booked their spot in Hamburg in the first race of the season. 2 of the athletes racing tonight have already got their spots, so the remaining 13 athletes are fighting it out for the 3 remaining qualifying positions. If Joanna and Lauren, who qualified in Hamburg, finished in the top 2 tonight, then the qualifying spots will roll down to 3, 4 and 5.
And we have got a packed weekend, Till.
You know, this is just the first race that Greg was talking about, but after a short break after the women's race, we're going to see the men's individuals, the singles race in there as well. Not a single qualified athlete here, so all is open. And then tomorrow, we're going to round it up with incredible racing in the doubles, both the women's and the men's.
Nothing is more exciting than the fast, the furious, the doubles. Brand new this season, of course. There is some element of complication to the format of the year, and a lot of you may be joining us for the very first time. So sit yourselves down, buckle up, and take a little look at this to get you up to speed.
The Elite 15 is the professional racing series of Hyrox, where the very best athletes in the world go head-to-head. In the 2025-26 season, the Elite 15 will compete across 4 majors, 3 regional championships, and on the ultimate stage, the Hyrox World Championships. Qualification to the majors in singles comes in 2 ways. First, auto qualification. On the men's side, automatic places go to Hong Kong and Glasgow champion James Kelly, Amsterdam winner Alex Ronkovic, and Las Vegas winner Dylan Scott. From the Chicago World Championship podium, world champ Tim Venish and runner-up Hunter McIntyre also qualify, with bronze medalist Dylan Scott already through from Vegas. Roll downs extend as far as 5th place, and with Kelly finishing 4th in Chicago, the final men's entry passes to Jonathan Wynn. On the women's side, last season was dominated by America's Lauren Weeks and Australia's Joanna Wietrzyk. They secured the first 2 auto qualification tickets to this year's majors. With both finishing inside the top 5 in Chicago, 3 more names are added. It's world champ Linda Meier, Sinead Bent who finished in 4th, and Lucy Proctor who came home in 5th. Beyond the automatic qualifiers, the remaining places are earned through time. Athletes with the fastest average of their 2 best Hyrox Pro times in the past year complete the field. If any competitor declines their invitation, the opportunity moves down the rankings until all 15 start line places are filled. At each major, 15 women and 15 men compete. The top 3 finishers advance to the World Championships, with qualifying spots rolling down. And if a qualified athlete withdraws from the World Championships, their position passes on to the next placed athlete from the same qualifying event. Beyond the majors, 3 regional championships will decide the final entries for Worlds. These are staged in Washington, D.C., London, and Brisbane. To compete, you must hold a passport from that region, Americas, EMEA, or APAC. Each regional champs crowns a single winner, and that athlete or double claims the last place on the World Championship start line. The Elite 15 is where champions are made. 4 majors, 3 regionals, 1 world champion. This is Hyrox at the highest level.
Well, an exciting season ahead, and we are smack bang in the middle of it here in Australia. Let's take a little look at who is lining up on the start line this afternoon. Well, you've got the World Championship podium back out on course. Lauren Weeks and Joanna Wietrzyk already qualified for Stockholm. The champ Linda Meier will be looking to book her spot here. Doubles world record holder Jess Petro will want to make a statement on home soil. Right there, Melbourne sees the return of former Open world record holder Sinead Bent following recovery from a calf injury. Her doubles partner Lucy Proctor also makes it back to the start line after being hospitalized in Hamburg. 5 debutantes round out that roster, including a number of former athletes, including Ipswich Town football player Kat Parnell. Well, Till, what are they walking away from? Or with, I might say, when it comes to prize pool?
Absolutely with. Maybe one of those spots for the World Championship that Greg was talking about, but they're definitely walking away with some money here at the race, and it's $15,000, an incredible prize purse here for the winner, $9,600. It goes all the way to still $4,200 for 5th place here. So that is serious money in this sport. So every second really matters, not just those positions for the World Championship.
Yeah, we keep talking about professionalizing this space, and that kind of prize money goes a long way to making it a reality for the athletes out on course. And of course, the battle for first place comes with a little bit of cash in hand, doesn't it, Greg? That fight for first, Lauren Weeks has got to be favourite on the team sheet.
Certainly one of the favourites. She dominated the majority of the majors last season, won 3 of the 4, broke the world record in Glasgow in an incredible performance. Chicago didn't quite go her way. She finished 3rd that day, and then at Hamburg again, didn't quite go her way, finished 3rd again. So the 3rd for Lauren Weeks is not what she's used to, especially after some of her performances in the majors last season. She's going to really, really want to take the win today.
She's not going to be without some stiff hometown competition, Dill.
That is absolutely right. The one thing I learned in my days here in Melbourne is if I want to make a point, I got to start my sentence with mate. Joanna Wietrzyk, you know, she is the hometown hero. She literally is. She lives about 40 minutes away from the venue here up in the hills with literally koalas running through the backyard. And she's got her family with her for the very first time ever at a race that they're on site. She's got the home crowds and she's been beyond motivated the last couple of days, but so cool, so collected. I really do believe is motivation and not pressure for her, and that makes her hard to beat.
We're very excited to see this battle unfold in front of us, but let's hear from the woman herself.
Growing up, how did you get into sport?
I originally got into sport because my brother, who's 2 years older than me, he started, and then I honestly just wanted to try and beat him in anything and everything. So he picked up the tennis racket first, and tennis was my first sport. So then I picked it up after him, and tennis racket was about the same size as myself then. And yeah, just honestly never looked back, and sport was my whole entire life from then onwards.
So who turned out to be the better athlete?
I think we can all agree that it was me.
I'm sure he agrees.
Oh, he wouldn't like me saying that.
And then, so how long did you play tennis for?
About 14 years. So I think I was 4 or 5 years old when I picked up that racket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Could have turned into a professional career. Was that the dream?
That was the dream, and I mean, who knows? But no, it was a dream growing up always to be a professional tennis player, and kind of fizzled out after high school, and then COVID hit and transitioned into netball, and then now I'm in Hyrox.
So what would current Joanna tell young, growing up in the suburbs, Joanna?
Honestly, there's a whole world out there, and your dreams will shift and change, but you can really be extraordinary if you work hard.
First time I think you really appeared, at least in our world of Hyrox, was Amsterdam.
Yes.
How was that experience?
Honestly, that was incredible. It was my first time overseas, first time racing in a European race.
Wait. First time overseas racing, or the first time ever overseas?
First time, oh, both.
No
ever
way.
Overseas. Yeah.
Wow.
And I did it all by myself too, so that was a whole experience in itself.
Yeah.
My parents weren't there or anything like that. Kind of did 5 races in about 5 weeks at that point, and then just went straight over and just to give it a crack.
Now then, there you are, training with Tia-Clair Toomey, and now you're not anymore, which I believe is a decision from your end. How come?
We never know, we could be racing with Tia one day soon, but yeah, it was definitely a cool experience racing with her and also being amongst that community as well.
Okay, so between us, how does it feel saying no to Tia-Clair Toomey?
Oh, I mean, pretty cool. No, she's an incredible athlete, and I mean, she's just announced that she's pregnant with a little one, so I mean, it's probably the better that I said no, because well, we probably wouldn't have been able to race in the long run anyways.
Which brings us to Melbourne. It's hard to believe, but Melbourne last year was your first race?
Yeah, so it's definitely a full circle moment, and like what I was saying before, it's funny to reminisce on the whole journey just over a year. There's been so much that has happened, and yeah, now we wind it back here in Melbourne.
So what would make you a happy athlete come Friday evening?
Obviously to win, to be on top of that podium. I'd love to go 2 for 2 this season, but I think at the end of the day, I'm going to be the happiest person in that room. I think just racing in front of friends and family and the Australian crowd, and just to reminisce on the whole journey that I've had up until this point is going to be so special. And yeah, regardless what the outcome is, if I win, if I don't, if I podium, if I don't, honestly, I'm just going to be the happiest person. I'll have the biggest smile on my face just because I'm here in Melbourne.
There are very few athletes, gentlemen, who have gone 2 from 2 in a majors season, Lauren Weeks being the only one. So to join her would be a serious tick in the history books for Joanna Wietrzyk. But she's not going to be without a number of ladies around her who aren't just fighting for podium, but are fighting for qualification as well. And it adds a little bit of extra fire to make sure they can book that ticket to Stockholm. Greg, Sinead Bent is back. She missed the first round of the season, and she could do some damage.
Yeah, really exciting athlete. She finished 4th in the end in Chicago after really bursting onto the scene last season. She has been struggling with injury a little bit ever since, though she did race in Dublin with her fiancé in the mixed doubles, getting 55 minutes there, so she's obviously in pretty good shape. Exciting to see her. She's always exciting to see, and particularly exciting to see on the farmers carries, because she's incredible. It's all anyone ever talks about. Yeah, really impressive athlete that could get a qualifying spot tonight.
That is literally her station, isn't it? But she's going to be up against the Germans, a duo who are going to cause problems.
Oh my word, German double trouble in the house. I mean, Linda Meier, the world champion, you know, she did not deliver quite what people were expecting at the major in Hamburg, but she is back. The minimum goal is the qualification, that's for sure, but I'm sure she wants more. And Seka Arning, how about that story? Basically almost passed out at the major in Glasgow, dead last, then suddenly 4th in Hamburg. She switched everything around in winter. New coach, now in the same coaching company as Linda Meier, so that is going to be an interesting duel.
What about the rookies? 5 rookies lining up. Can you even believe it? It's very exciting, and there are a couple that could really stake a claim to being a regular occurrence in this Elite 15.
Yeah, for sure. You've had to get a good qualifying time just to be part of this race. A number of super impressive athletes there tonight. I mean, Kat Parnell, one of them you mentioned earlier, former Ipswich professional footballer. She won in Birmingham recently against a super strong field. She was 2nd in Dublin as well against another super strong field. So she's certainly going to be in the mix tonight. Manuela Garcia there. She's raced impressively through this season already. She raced with Sika, who you were just talking about in the women's doubles, and we'll see her tomorrow night. So yeah, a number of rookies that could be in the mix for sure tonight.
Sophia Pavitsy-Rain, she was not on that, but she was the last person to get her ticket just before the cut line coming to Melbourne.
Literally just before the cut line, but we chatted with her yesterday. She is so confident. She is so calm, and I think it's just in her background, right? She's such an established entrepreneur. She's got this whole life outside Hyrox. She's got a very successful sporting career in different sports, ranging from running to rowing and everything. And she's got all this experience that she's bringing here, and she really seemed on fire yesterday when we chatted with her.
Well, we're going to see all of these ladies take to the course in a matter of minutes, and it all begins with one station in particular, the SkiErg. And we are here to demystify, because let's be honest, it is a little bit mystical, the role of the ergs in the Hyrox race, with both Greg Williams and the 4th member of tonight's broadcasting team. May I introduce you to Miss Erg Army herself, Hyrox 365 expert, Jane Urbacher.
Okay, Jane, we're at the SkiErg, the first station in the race. It's often said you can make or break your race here. One of the factors there is stroke rate. What does that mean?
So stroke rate refers to how many strokes per minute the athlete has performed.
Okay, and on the screen there we're seeing the stroke rate for the men in the men's elite field from the last race in Hamburg. It's quite a range in the stroke rates. Who's doing it right, who's doing it wrong?
So it's really exciting to actually analyse this, because what we see in this graphic here is that there is a difference of 12 strokes per minute between the person with the most amount of strokes per minute and the person with the least amount of strokes per minute. So it's a relatively big window, and we can actually see the impact on their performance by how many strokes that they're performing per minute.
Yeah, quite a range of stroke rates, but not necessarily a huge range in the pace that they're skiing at. 2 of those athletes on that, Thomas de Verdick at the slowest stroke rate in the field at 37, and then Dylan, who actually finished 2nd in the race, he had one of the highest stroke rates at 44. We're seeing their different splits and subsequent times in the stations on the screen at the moment. Talk us through what we're seeing there.
So this is really fun to analyse, because what we see here is we actually see only a 2-second difference in their overall ski time. And what we see is Thomas has a much lower strokes per minute. So he has sub 40 strokes per minute, which is actually not very many, which means from a technical point of view, we're seeing the flywheel come to more of a stop, which analysing that, we'd say that he has to actually use more muscle to keep that forward momentum. Comparative to that, we actually see that Dylan Scott has a higher stroke rate, slightly faster overall time, But what we're seeing is that we see that potentially he's using a little bit less muscle and a little bit more aerobic. And what we can analyze in this that's really interesting is actually their run straight after this, which is slightly faster for Dylan, and also their sled time. So their sled push time is 13 seconds difference. And so we can analyze that as the stroke rate being really impactful on their performance there. Or it could just be that Dylan was more ready for that race. But I think analysing stroke rate here is really a pivotal piece of information to analyse.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's a 20 kilogram difference in weight between those two athletes as well. So if anything, you might expect Thomas to be faster on the sled push. So it is a fair question to wonder whether that slower stroke rate has cost him, I guess, on the SkiErg.
Exactly. And I think that one of the most exciting things to analyse in Hyrox is the interplay of all of the variables. So we can look at stroke rate, then we can look at the impact on the race, and we can definitely say that it impacted. But the cool thing about Hyrox is it's not just stroke rate, it's not just running capability, it's definitely not just size, but it's how the athlete best utilises and, takes advantage of all of those variables.
Yeah. So if people are sitting at home thinking, well, what do I do for my race? Are there any tips to work out the best stroke rate for you?
Definitely. What we need to do when we are training at home is we need to acknowledge that there's multiple variables. Okay, when we look at the SkiErg, the stroke rate intersects with also the damper setting and also the physiology of the athlete. So the best thing someone at home can actually do is train in a way that is quite varied, where they analyse the data. So maybe they do an effort where they're 40 strokes per minute, see how long the ski takes them, see what their RPE is, see what their heart rate actually is, see the impact on their next run, and then do something totally different and then analyse the data from that as well.
Okay, amazing. All right, well, you're going to be joining us on the live stream for the race where we had to look at what the elites are actually doing.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much.
Another fierce female joining the team. Can't complain with that, gentlemen. Talking of fierce females, we have got some predictions. It's becoming a little bit of a running thing where we look ahead to who we think might end up on the podium. Till, who have you got?
I can't believe that you make me do this. I find it's almost impossible at the race here. We got so many amazing women at the start line, and it's so hard to pick, but you made me do it. So
I made you do it.
You made me do
it.
So you won't get around Joanna Wietrzyk. Family here for the first time. She's got a point to prove, as she said in the interview, to prove that she's the better athlete than her brother, right? She's got the home crowds behind her. She's been so happy and motivated. She got that tailwind coming in from Hamburg. You won't get around Joanna Wietrzyk. Linda Meier, the world champion, didn't deliver the way she wanted in Hamburg, so I'm sure she's here for redemption. And SkiErg Analysis, she was basically there, already ready to grab that spot in Hamburg, and she's ready to finally do it here.
What you got, Greg? Who have you got?
Very, very similar to Till. So Joanna Wietrzyk, I think on home soil, after her performance in Hamburg, I've given her the win. Lauren Weeks, the greatest that we've seen in this sport, I've gone for second again tonight. And then in third spot, I'm agreeing with Till, SkiErg Analysis. I think she went fourth in Hamburg, looked super impressive. I think she's going to go one better here.
And I'm throwing in with a wild card. It is going to be Jess Petro, again from Australia. She's going to want to lay down a stormer tonight in front of her home crowd, and she's been looking solid in training with her numbers, especially after already booking her ticket to Worlds in the doubles alongside Joanna. So a lot of exciting ladies about to take to the track, and a very exciting race ahead. This is episode 2, Down Under, and it's all about to unfold.
energy in here. We want you to clap when it says so. Loud and long.
All right, we're moments away from the start here. That second chapter off the road to Stockholm. Once again, a very warm welcome to everybody joining us just now before the race starts. My name is Till Shanky, and commentary, as you're used to, with the one and only Greg Williams. And we've got a new kid on the block with Jane. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
This is going to be an exciting race as we're counting down the seconds here. 2, 1, and off we go in Melbourne, all the way down under. It's been a journey to get here, not just for us, but for the athletes as well. Jane, you know so many of the athletes inside out. You train some of them. What can we expect from the day?
I'm actually so excited because I am from Melbourne, so welcoming the entire world of Hyrox here to my hometown has felt amazing. But I think that we just can't go past Joanna. Like, she lives nearby. She's from here, her family is here, and she is ready to go. But we're seeing that with a lot of the Aussies out there today, which is pretty exciting.
As we've come to expect, Lauren and Joanna going out hot. They're the two that have already claimed their spot for the World Championships. They got their spot in Hamburg, so they can probably afford to risk a little bit more tonight. But in typical fashion, really, Lauren going out very, very fast here, and already a gap opening up against the rest of the field.
I mean, it's a little bit of a, you know, scenario, I reckon, here for Lauren of like, not again.
Last season, 3 of the 4 majors, she was the winner. Got the world record in Glasgow, incredible time, 56 minutes. Didn't perform as well as she would have wanted in Chicago. Didn't quite perform as well as she would have wanted in Hamburg. She did get her qualifying spot though. That she's going to want to come back with a win tonight, and she's definitely gone out with intent here.
But look at what we're seeing on the screen here right now, right? So in the interview yesterday with Lauren Wietrzyk, she was all like, oh no, it's not going to be a clear thing, you know. The other women, they got a lot closer and so on with the training and everything. And I was thinking to myself, I'm smelling some BS happening here. Look at what's happened on that first run lap right now.
She is actually the exact combination of fierce and humble at the exact same time. And it's hilarious that she always comes out and she's super humble. And then we see this, she's so focused and she's just so dominant. Like, look how strong she looks out there right now. And nothing is going to take her focus away from what she needs to do tonight.
No, huge gap opening up against the rest of the ladies in this field. And, the rest of the ladies are very, very fast runners. But these two can afford to risk a little bit more. Like, they can afford to blow up. I don't think either of these two will blow up. They know what they're doing. They've got enough race experience. But this is a bigger gap than I think we've typically seen in many of the majors before.
But one of the things we've seen lately is Lauren's struggling a little bit at the sleds every once in a while, losing valuable time there. You know, what's very unusual for even struggling to get back into the running rhythm for a moment there. Is that something that's on her mind right now? She's like, I got to make up those extra seconds early in the race?
I think it must be on her mind, because you're right, it is the sleds where we've seen her drop time, maybe to some of the other ladies, in particular Joanna. So I think it must be on her mind. But that said, in the past we've seen Lauren have some, you know, maybe weaknesses, like a farmer's carry. I remember a couple of years ago, that was where she was dropping time. But then she went away, she worked on it, she came back, and now she's incredibly impressive on the farmer's carry. So there's no doubt she'd have been working on the sleds. So she'll know that, and if she was scared about the sleds in any way, she wouldn't be going out quite this hot, I don't think. I think she'd be holding back a little bit, and it doesn't look like she's doing that.
She just looks so comfortable running. Like, it's looking at the rest of the field, it really looks like they're pushing already, but she's just like chilling out there.
It is absolutely wild. But you know, you from around here, you know how it's working, you know the crowds and all. There is this slight gap between Lauren and Joanna right now, but I mean, that crowd here in Melbourne, that's got to add some extra percentage to Joanna.
Absolutely. I think Joanna is exactly where she wants to be right now, because one of the things that we see with Joanna's racing is she is so consistent across the entire race. She doesn't drop off after any of the sleds or the ergs or anything. She just stays so consistent. So I think she arrived at the ski there in the exact right position. And something that was so interesting to watch right there is the adjustment of the damper setting that happened straight away from the first 2 athletes. I saw Lauren move it down just a little bit and Joanna move it down. And I wonder if that's going to play a role in them minimising their fatigue at this station.
What sort of pace do you think they're skiing at the moment? Have you spoken? I know you've coached Joanna on this. What sort of pace do you think they're doing?
I think they're doing about a 2-minute pace, somewhere between a 1:59 and a 2:01. But I think what is so interesting to watch right now is how different their approach is right now. We look at Joanna, she's creating downward force there, looking at more of a path of least resistance, like a diagonal path. And then we see Lauren, and she's creating a little bit more, she's got a little bit more pullback. So it looks like her stroke is actually longer in length. And I wonder how that's going to actually impact their performance.
Does height play a factor here? Like Joanna is a much taller athlete than Lauren. Does technique change depending on your height, would you say?
Definitely. So it's really interesting because a lot of people like to analyse size when it comes to both of the ergs and look at what they're not as being better to what they are. And I think that what we need to understand with the ergs is it's about timing and it's about application of force. So often we think that the taller you are and the higher you reach, the better you're going to do, but it actually doesn't work like that. If Lauren can put herself in a really strong body position, which comes from hip extension, she can really work just as well as Joanna right here. So I think that it's more of a myth when it comes to size on the machines, and what we actually want to look at is how do you utilize exactly what you've got.
Okay.
And one of the things I love watching in particularly the women when they ski is where is their head finishing when they're skiing. And we're looking at Sinead Bent there, and her head is so much lower than both of Joanna and Lauren. And what's going to happen there is her body is actually going to be in a lot more pressure in this activity here. It's a lot more work that she's having to do to get all the way back up again.
You know, you can see it in the time. She's wasting a lot of energy, a lot of power. If you look at like the core and everything, the way one isn't following the other right now, she's a solid 10 seconds slower than the two women next to her.
Absolutely, and both Lauren and Joanna, like it's really interesting. Their power is coming from their hips. We can see that. Their power is absolutely coming from their hips. We can look at Joanna though, and she's really minimizing how much accessory work she's doing. Because on the SkiErg, power is only applied in the very top part of the stroke. So we want to utilize as much of that hip strength as we possibly can there.
And there's one thing we have to point out. Joanna has a bit of an unfair advantage. She's got the new Puma shoe already. You know, you see it on her feet, you see it on our Puma athletes. They get to try that shoe already before it's coming out on February 19th officially for everybody to get. And the pro athletes, they've been raving about it. A wider platform than the Elite 3, the predecessor before. Incredible grip and a new plate in there that is just so bouncy, so much forward drive. Really looking forward. This is the first time they get to try that shoe in a race, not in a training setting. I'm so much looking forward to the feedback afterwards.
Same, and looking on the SkiErg right now, one of the things that wider base under the toe is actually going to give you is stability, because we want to get into triple extension when we're on the SkiErg, and so having that stability under our foot there enables you to maintain that balance and not actually work as hard.
Another interesting factor here is that Sinead, obviously we talked about her ski technique, but she has been injured since Chicago. There was probably a little bit of a question mark over how her running was going to feel, but she's come in third here, so she's obviously feeling pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, but it's so interesting to see that a couple of the other athletes that came in after her have managed to hit that target a lot sooner and potentially with a lot less fatigue.
Yeah. Like we were saying in the pre-show, I wonder what this technique has cost her as well for the remainder of the race.
Absolutely. Sika Arning there came in at number 8 and she left, I think, 3rd there, which is really, really strong performance.
And you know, we're talking about the times and the timing and everything, and we got Lauren down with the athletes and seeing what's happening down there with the timings and the action.
Thanks, Till. Yeah, I've just actually spoken to Matt Locke, and basically what's happened, they've had a couple of issues with timing, which means there's no lap counter out on course for these athletes at the moment. The behind-the-scenes team are working as hard as they can to get things back online. But when you imagine you're doing 6 + 5s when it comes to laps, now that's going to become a real integral part of this race.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Like the lap counting here anyway was already going to be a factor, even if you had the screen. But counting 5, 6 laps when you're tired, when there's so much going on, the atmosphere inside the venue. So if you haven't got that technology helping you out, mistakes could be made.
Oh, so easily. And that's actually kind of crazy to think. Like, think of when you're under fatigue, counting to 2 is hard. In on the second is hard. And then it's like, have I done 5? Have I done 4? Have I done 3? Yeah.
And we did see it, I think, in the women's doubles actually in Hamburg. A couple of the teams did make a mistake, and I think it was on run 7. So as the race goes on, as the fatigue starts to set in, it can be in the latter part of that race where it becomes even more of a factor.
Absolutely, and just not having to actually use your energy for brain power and be able to actually use it for the race is really important.
Absolutely. There's Kat Parnell there, and she's about to be lapped by Lauren Wietrzyk already. So Lauren still looking really, really strong on this run.
Yeah, Lauren is just, look at her run right now. She has got a point to prove, I feel like.
And you know what? Just seeing her right now, I'll tell you right now, you don't want to miss the men's race. But I'm willing to put money down that we're going to see that very same response from Hunter McIntyre in the men's race today. He's got a point to prove. You know, he's gone out again and again and again saying, I'm going to destroy the competition. And he wasn't always able to deliver. So this weekend, everybody's response was like, yeah, we heard that one before, and how did that turn out? And I think he's going to turn the tables here today later on. So make sure to stay tuned for our men's race tonight as well. We're going to hit it off with the show at 6:30 local time, and then the race at 7 o'clock. But back to our amazing women.
Look at that, though. We were just talking about Lauren Wietrzyk. Lauren Wietrzyk is just about to lap the 2025 world champion Linda Meier already this early on in the race.
You know, Linda Meier, I'm not sure where her head is for the race right now. She seemed a lot more tense in the hours before the race here than we've seen her in Hamburg, which kind of reminded me a little bit of Linda Meier before the world champion title. You know, the Linda Meier we've seen in places like Washington, Son 2024, who always took the outside line, never put the elbows out, didn't display the confidence. I hope it's just a brief moment that we saw that, and that we're going to see the world champion here in the later stages of the race.
Important area here now we get into, though, because like we've already touched on, if Lauren has dropped time against Joanna, it has been on the sleds recently, so this is an important station for her.
Absolutely, and we've just seen Lauren go unbroken in that first lap, and I am so interested, and Joanna's doing the exact same here. I'm so interested because I've heard a lot of the elites are doing this now.
You know, and that's so confusing. Before I did my first race, all the elite athletes were like, you got to take a rest halfway through, no matter how good you feel. And now they're turning it around again.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's these kinds of variables. It's so hard to analyze the impact on the race, but we have to have a look at that right now, because is it because Lauren did it that Joanna then followed suit, or was that always the plan?
Yeah, that's a good point. And because it comes down to the racing as well, you sometimes want to open up a gap in your competitors, almost like break them early on. And I think that's maybe why they're doing it. It's not necessarily a great strategy for age group racers.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Guys, back down on the floor, what is really interesting is traditionally the sleds have posed problems for Lauren Wietrzyk. But since Hamburg, she's had a delivery of that famous center turf. And you can see the difference it's making. Her being able to actually train on that day in, day out. She's a different Lauren Wietrzyk on this station.
And that is one of the most key aspects to sled training, is understanding the environment in which you actually have to race at. And people talk all the time about moving sleds at the load of the pro race, and it's not the load at all. It's the relationship between the load and the floor. So you have to train on that turf to be able to move that load effectively in a race.
Yeah, absolutely. To know how it truly feels on that turf with that load, it can be critical. But we are seeing more breaks now. So they went the first 2 legs almost unbroken, I think, but now there's a lot more braking, and maybe that's, again, like we touched on, tactics, because one of them breaks, the other feels that they can do as well. I think they're going to leave this area fairly aligned with each other, but yeah, a lot more breaks happening at the moment.
But it's short breaks that we're seeing here. And I just very quickly want to go back to Lauren Weeks, having that turf delivered as Joanna Wietrzyk is taking the lead now out of station number 2. We're seeing a similar picture that we've seen to Hamburg, with the difference being Lauren Weeks is a lot closer. But speaking of Lauren Weeks, you can't appreciate that enough with all the success and everything she had after. Now we're seeing Sinead Band coming out, Sika Arning. I'm going to jump back to Lauren in a second. This is too exciting right now. We're seeing some of the athletes who've been called dark horses in our predictions or podium predictions. Sika Arning. Oh, how the Germans are turning the tables. Sika Arning, is like Linda who?
And Lucy Proctor has just come from the complete other end of the sled push there and has come out there running very, very strong. But watching Sinead Bent move that sled, I think that we are going to see from Sinead Bent, the Farmers Carry 2.0 is going to be the sled push for her.
And looking at the sled push, we're not seeing it on camera right now, but you look at Sarah Perjani, who has not adjusted the way she's moving. Actually, sorry, it's not Sarah that we're seeing right now. She's at the far end there. She is very similar though. She's not gone low. Yeah. Most athletes have adjusted to the new turf and everything by going way lower. You've seen it with Lauren Weeks literally lying on this sled. We're not seeing that from Sarah Perjani, who's going to leave the sled push dead last.
Yeah, we saw much more of an upward diagonal angle with her back there, which seems to... It worked before with the old turf, but what it will actually do here, it's almost like it's moving the sled upwards rather than forwards. And when the athlete gets really nice and low, which is what we saw from Sinead Bant, we saw it from Joanna, is it's much easier to actually move that sled along the turf.
Now that they're running, quickly back to Lauren Weeks. That is what makes the difference to be a true champion, is no matter how much success you had, you adjust to however the sports, the condition, whatever change, and you find a way. And it's a question of how far are you willing to go. If it takes getting that turf home, training on that turf, then that's what it takes, and that's what she does.
Absolutely, and we see this, it's in the most amazing athletes of all time. You look at Tia-Clair Toomey and her attention to detail in every aspect of the sport, and we're seeing this from these athletes now as well. That's how you have to train to become the best.
Well, we're seeing the best of the best racing here in Melbourne, our chapter 2 off the road to Stockholm. And look, she's fighting. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is punches that Joanna Wietrzyk is throwing right now.
She's throwing some
while
uppercuts.
She's running. That's unique. That is a style of running I've not seen before, I think.
I'm just going to put it down to she has some sort of strategy for it, for the sled pull, maybe.
It's a warm-up for the sled pull that we're seeing here now. We got that sorted. Thank you very much, Jane.
And watching Jess Petro run past just now, I've actually never seen her look so calm out there. She looks calm and she looks strong. So maybe Lauren was right. Maybe Jess Petro is going to be up there.
Yeah, that is a good point in that Joanna and Lauren have already got their spot for the World Championship. So people like Jess, not necessarily racing against Joanna and Lauren tonight. They're looking for that potentially third, fourth, fifth spot if Joanna and Lauren are going to get the top 2. So Jess will be aware of that. She's going to be aware of the athletes around her, who's got the qualifying spots and who hasn't.
That is the thing. We got 2 races going here. I mean, going into the race, you had to pick Lauren or Joanna for the win. I mean, otherwise, you didn't follow the sport before. No matter what how much Lauren wants to downplay the scenario that we're seeing here right now. However, what I do believe is, come Stockholm, the other women will have caught up. They are seeing what they need to do, what needs to be done to close that gap. And seeing some of the movers in the field, in the Elite 15, it's quiet, but it's happening step by step.
Absolutely. Maybe they just need a delivery of turf to their house as well.
Who knows? There we go. Joanna Wietrzyk is at the sled pull. We got Lauren Weeks coming in. She opted for the gloves, taking that run to put them on. And here we go. This is the duel we were expecting for 1 and 2. And we keep talking about it. It's not over by a long shot, but there is an indication that this once again might be our 1 and 2. But again, what's happening behind, the race behind is the one for the World Championship qualification. And there, we got Sinead Band coming in. I spoke to her before the race and she said, I really don't know where I'm standing. I did train well, But the huge difference in her training has been she's training a session less per week, she's training a lot less running per week, and she shifted all the endurance running to endurance cycling. And she said, I've never done this before. I have no idea what impact that had. It might be a great impact, it might not be. Right now it's looking like a good impact.
Absolutely. Whatever she's doing is working for her. And one of the most exciting things about Sinead is the fight in her. It's so great to watch somebody race with so much fire in their belly. Like, she is just, she wants it with every ounce of her being, and you can see that in how she approaches absolutely everything.
Sika Arning right next to her. Super quick sled there, a little quicker even than Sinead Band that we've seen here. Sika Arning, I mean, Greg, it was hard not to pick her for the podium predictions after what we've seen in Hamburg.
Yeah, it was. I feel like I was picking her as a bit of a contender for almost every race last season, and she often didn't quite do it. She at the 2024 Nice World Championship, she was the fastest age grouper on that weekend. She's always, you know, an ever-present in the Elite 15, if you like. But yeah, she really did come back in Hamburg and got that full spot. Looked super impressive. She's run some impressive doubles races as well recently with Manuela Garcia as well. So yeah, looking good so far tonight. I think she's certainly in contention.
One of the things I love watching, and I want everyone watching this to pay attention to, is these elites, when they are performing the sled pull, and when we watch the elites like Lauren and Joanna, they do the exact same thing every single time. They follow the same system, they do the exact same thing.
And it might be the coaches dialing them in, because that is where our very own Lauren is right now.
Exactly that, Till. I'm down in the brand new, as of Hamburg, coaches box. And eagle-eyed amongst you might see a recognizable face in Bo Wills. He's here coaching Gabby Nakora Bako. Currently he's in the top 5, local lass as well. But you'll know that he's also racing later on this evening. So he's carrying around with him a stool, because a lot of the athletes say keeping off feet is one of the best ways to prepare for an Elite 15 race later in the day.
Thank you so much. Bo Wills could not be any more Bo Wills than bringing a stool to the coach's area. You gotta love the man.
That is absolutely amazing. And there's the detail that makes someone an elite.
But look at the move. Look at the move at the sled pull from Joanna Wietrzyk. That gap has definitely gotten bigger. Lauren Weeks' last pull there. She's not out yet. She is gritting her teeth. That was a rough sled pull for Lauren Weeks. Definitely losing a little more ground. There was about a quarter of the lap before they came in, and now it's a solid half lap, if not a little more, that she's behind. Sika Arning is manifesting that third spot here, moving past Sinead Bent, opened the gap for a couple of seconds there. And there we go with Sinead Bent, still looking super strong, leaving the sled pulling fourth.
And Lucy Proctor has done so well on the sled pull.
Correct me, but I feel like Sinead Bent fourth and Lucy Proctor fifth. I heard that story before.
Yeah, Chicago World Championships. That's the 4 and 5. Just behind Lucy Proctor there as well was Kat Parnell. It feels like only a few minutes ago we were talking about Kat being lapped by Lauren Weeks, and I thought at the time, I thought maybe it's not Kat's day, but she's come out this sled pull in 6th spot, I think it is. So she's very much in the mix still.
And Linda Meier's gone out. This is something we traditionally see from her. You know, she tends to make up time at the sled pull, so she'll crawl her way back. But it's an interesting scenario right now, because Sika Arning is now only meters behind, ready to lap the world champion, Linda Meier. This got to be hurtful on the ego.
But it's so crazy how fast that can change.
I know. But then again, we're looking at, you know, a lot more laps to run these days with this new amazing setup that we're seeing here. And again, Linda Meier being somewhere in the back of the race after the sled push and being somewhere near the front at the end of the race, again, is a story that's not unheard of.
No, she's an experienced racer. She doesn't necessarily feel the need to go out super, super hot. She knows how to pace the race. She knows what she's doing. She's done this many, many times before. So no, we wouldn't necessarily count her out in the early stages. But at the same time, you know, it's a strong field. She can't afford to drop too much time.
We're still with the fist fight here with Joanna Wietrzyk, and I tell you right now exactly what's happening. I think that's a Muhammad Ali mantra going through her head the entire time. Like, she is in fighting mode here in Melbourne. And look at that laser focus that you can see on the screen there. There's not a distraction, not a worry racing in front of the home crowd. It's all motivation and all a drive to take another win. And I have a very distinct feeling. She doesn't want to say it out loud, but I think she is out on a mission this year to prove that it can be done what Alex Ronkovic failed to do last year, which is take the Grand Slam.
Well, she's well on her way right now. I know it's early days, but her focus and her improvement over the last 12 months has been just completely unreal.
It's completely unreal, and if we look back at Glasgow, right, Greg, I mean, it's sort of like she lost the race roundabout in sandbag lunges. She was right up there, actually leading Lauren Weeks, always by a couple of steps. But the lunges and the wall balls have improved so much. She's not going to lose a lot there.
No, she often goes unbroken at the wall balls. Like, she doesn't lose much time, really, at any of the stages in this race. Now, when she in the first major in Amsterdam last season, you could see she had a bit of work still to do on the stations. Like, her running was super impressive, but a little bit of work to do on the station. She went away and did that. And yeah, you're right. The latter stages of the race aren't necessarily a problem for her anymore. Just going back to what you were saying about winning every major, and that's obviously a possibility for Joanna, but one other contender that she's going to have to come up against later in this season is Megan Jacoby, 2024 world champion, is looking in super good form, and we're expecting to see her in Phoenix.
Oh, we're expecting to see her in Phoenix. I mean, as we now got Joanna Wietrzyk at the burpees, but look at that run from Lauren Weeks. She clawed back a couple of seconds there.
And you'd have to say that this is potentially one of her favourite stations, Lauren. So I wonder if that played into Joanna's mind at all, knowing that Lauren was breathing down her neck and coming into a station that she can really excel at.
It's mentally so tough to decide what's the right move here, right? Do you put early pressure on? But it can break you if you put that pressure on and you realize you're not getting away. It can motivate the athlete behind. And Lauren Weeks, look at her. She is about a burpee and a half behind. That's all now.
And look at how fast she gets up off the ground.
Oh, but look at the race behind, how close that is. We got Kat coming in. We already have Sika Arning in. We're seeing Sinead, Lucy Proctor is in as well. Jess Petro coming through. It's a close race right now.
Yeah, between that, you've got Joanna and Lauren in those top two positions, but this fight for the free qualifying spots is really close. I think there's less than 30 seconds between third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh spots at the moment. It really is an incredible battle there.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we keep talking about Joanna Wietrzyk and the home crowds and the support and everything. And even though she wasn't born here, let's not forget Gabrielle out there. I mean, she is a local now. They've adopted her.
Absolutely. We'll take her every single day of the week. Like, she's from New Zealand, but we love New Zealand.
So that's okay, right?
Well, I mean, it depends who you ask. Like, and that New Zealand generally don't want to be referred to as Australians, but Australians think that New Zealand is pretty much the most beautiful place in the world, so we'll happily claim it.
It's interesting because as Germans, we would never adopt the Swiss. Not happening. Not happening. Sorry, Melanie Maurer, she's just coming in, but not happening.
I know, but it's so amazing watching Gabrielle's growth in the sport. She is so strong, and her background isn't in this kind of training.
Yeah, she doesn't come from like a running background like lots of this field. Doesn't come from triathlon like people in this field. Just bodybuilding, and she's burst onto the scene, put in some incredible times. I think she won in Boston, second in Chicago to Lauren Weeks.
But look at the turf, look at the burpees, what we're seeing here. We're seeing a replay of Hamburg. We're seeing Lauren Weeks into the burpees, absolutely smashing it, closing the gap in the first half, and then losing to Joanna again. And it's exactly what we're seeing here all over again. She's not losing a lot, but she's not managed to close the gap, and she was already there 2 lanes ago.
Yeah, it's great to watch this. And Joanna, again, every single burpee is identical, and she's staying calm. She's not trying to rush what she's actually doing. She's not risking getting any kind of penalty. She's just calm and collected and consistent.
Oh, but we got half a lane left there, and
it's a yellow card I just saw for Lauren Weeks as well there. So just a warning on the standards there for Lauren Weeks. I was just thinking, I don't think we've seen any warnings, any penalties given here. This is a station where we have seen it in Hamburg, but I think that was the first yellow card we saw for Lauren Weeks.
Well, we got our head ref Matt down there on the grid, making sure everything is in order.
I wonder how much that plays into your mind as well when you get that yellow card, like how conservative you become.
But look at Lucy Proctor doing Lucy Proctor things right now. She is not taking any prisoners here. There she goes off in a third. And you can tell me whatever you want. She's got a point to prove here as well. The doubles drama at the World Championship in Chicago. She was Britain's golden child. You know, nobody talked about anybody else than her. Now Kat Purnell coming out as well, by the way. And then suddenly everybody was talking about Sinead. And even though they're racing together, Lucy wants to prove the point. Hold on a second. I was the first golden child here.
Don't you forget about me.
I have to say as well, Lucy looked really good immediately into the run coming out of the burpees. It's not easy. That run straight after the burpees is probably the hardest point of the race for me personally, but Lucy was just springing out of there, really, really strong. So that super time that she's put in there, I don't think has cost her too much at the moment.
And you know what else? I noticed that Lucy Proctor had the little crawl-up technique, so I wonder if that plays into her legs not being as heavy at the end of those burpees.
Nobody really knows, but look at Linda Meier's face coming out just ahead of Melanie Maurer, behind Ellie Stanfors, one of our rookies, the finish lady. Here we see Lucy again. We see that it's a swift movement, a quick turnaround there, not wasting any time.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm very excited about what's about to come up, because traditionally speaking, the race really begins at the rower, and that's where we are headed now. So this is going to be very interesting to analyze.
And it's super interesting, the duel we're seeing here. We're seeing Lauren Weeks. She is a run lap ahead of Linda Meier. Linda Meier is far back in terms of position of the race right now, but she's still only 46 seconds down. So that is not a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not. It feels like discouraging, or like when you are lapped, but it's actually not a huge amount of time. Like you said, 45 seconds. It's not a huge amount of time to be able to make up. It just feels a little bit discouraging when you are getting lapped.
Tanja Strohschneider in her second appearance in a major race, struggling a little bit, just leaving the burpees now. Sarah Pejani, well, she is fighting back there, but she is leaving second last, just coming out of the burpees.
So it looks like just 30 seconds separating third and seventh spot there. So Lucy Proctor left the burpees 27 seconds behind Lauren Weeks. Then it was Kat Parnell, then Sinead Ben, then Zika Arnin, then Jess Petro, just 32 seconds behind Lucy. So very, very close between, you know, five ladies for those three qualifying spots.
And we're seeing the updated numbers there. So I got the wrong numbers there. 128, the deficit for the reigning world champion Linda Meier. So that is about, you know, twice the deficit that Zika Arnin has right now. It is going to be a tough way for Linda Meier to get back into that top 5 position that she needs to qualify for the World Championship the way it stands right now. And we're seeing a lot of struggle at the burpees because we are far from done at the burpees. We got one athlete left out there. I believe it's Manuela Garcia.
I think it might be, I'm trying to say, I think it might be Sophia Putzi-Wayne.
Oh, it might actually be that. Yes, it is indeed. It's a long way from where I'm standing right now, and I'm 45 years old, so eyesight is getting a little bit limited. And look, curious, did you just see that? Maybe we can get the replay as we got Lauren Weeks now turning the tables first into the road. She almost missed that turn there. She was going in so hard that she almost flew out of the turn. And look at how much time, how much of a gap she opened on Joanna Wietrzyk on that run. Lauren Weeks is on fire.
I absolutely cannot wait to watch these two athletes, though, because on the rower, they have completely different technique here. So one of the things you're going to see with Joanna here is she keeps her seat a long way from her feet, which means that she can apply a lot more force per stroke, whereas Lauren Weeks is traveling a lot further on the rower. And so analysing this and the fatigue on the legs through that is going to be very interesting to watch, because we see Joanna generally completes the rower a little bit faster than Lauren.
So they coming into the rower there, it looked like Lauren run a really impressive run, but I think it could be more that Joanna dropped a little bit of time on the run. So Lauren's runs are consistently around the 4-minute mark, maybe just over 4 minutes. Joanna Wietrzyk was doing that. She ran a 3:37 on run 2, 4:03, 4:06, and then it dropped to 4:13 after the burpees. So it's more that Joanna seems to have slowed on her runs a little bit. So I wonder if burpees or those sleds pushing on the sleds is starting to cost her.
Oh, and that's got to be mentally brutal now for Sophia, who is leaving the burpees as the top 5 are into the row already. Sika Arning losing a little bit of time on that run. And if you look at the women ahead with Sinead, we're seeing Kat, we're seeing Lucy. She's going to sit there right now and thinking, not again. Let's not miss out on a World Championship spot by 1 position again.
Yeah, it's they're still looking good. So Lucy Proctor coming in 3rd, Kat Parnell having a really, really good race. She's sitting in 4th. She's raced already a few times this season. Not all these ladies have, but Kat's run a few times. She raced in Birmingham, raced in Dublin. I think she's raced some doubles as well. So she's got some race experience under her belt since Chicago.
And Lucy Proctor has just tried to adjust the damper setting in the middle of her effort there with the handle, and she let go of the handle by accident. So I think that the issue these athletes are having right now, because I've noticed most of them pull the damper setting down, is they are brand new machines, which means they actually feel a little bit heavier than a lot of these athletes are probably used to, because there's no dust or interference or anything.
And I can literally see like Jane getting all nervous in the studio right now, about to run on over to Sinead. It's the second erg. Well, she's not excelling, I want to say right now. She's going a 2:11 pace compared to the other women, who are once again about 2 seconds faster right now.
Yes, and it's not just that, her stroke rate is so much higher as well. So what that means is she's doing so much more work for so much less reward. She's started to slow down now, but it means that at the end of the day, not only is it going to take her longer to complete it, but it's also going to cost her a lot more energy.
That is the thing. If you look at the movement, it's hard to see on the screen right now, but we can see it from here. She's got this very exaggerated throwback off the back, and then the arms, it's not a fluid motion, it's a last-second whip that costs so much energy.
And what we know about the rower and the erg is that force is applied at the start of the movement, and it's a push, and we want to utilize body weight in a horizontal motion. So really it's like a horizontal deadlift, and so you're not able to generate force at the end of the stroke, but what you are able to do is fatigue your upper body, which is exactly what we don't want to do at this stage in the race.
And she had that head start, for example, on Sika Arning, but they're now shoulder to shoulder, because Sika Arning just going a little bit faster in average. But then Jess Petro, she is right there as well, our top seed 7. And then there's a little bit of a gap. Not much of a gap, but just a little bit to Gabrielle. And then Melanie Mara, we're seeing Ellie Stanford's there. Linda Meier, she's got her work cut out for herself now, right now. Sitting in 11, if she wants to make sure she's going to Worlds, she needs to be top 5. That's something I'm ready to call now.
I absolutely agree, and it was so interesting there. Joanna came in about 60 metres behind Lauren, maybe 60 to 70, and she's left about 30 metres behind. So she made up just a tiny bit of time there, but nothing too meaningful.
And what's going to be interesting to see here is, like I touched on a minute ago, Joanna certainly lost time on that last run. Her runs are slowed down, you know, around about 10 seconds per kilometre. So it'll be interesting to see what she does on this run. Is she really, really suffering, and is Lauren going to be able to open up the gap even more?
And I'm pretty sure they're all suffering a lot right now, because this is round about the time where you're starting to deplete your energy tanks, where it might be time to refuel a little bit. And I think Lauren might have caught some of our athletes.
And Sika Arning has actually had a beautiful row. She has made up some time there.
Cheers, guys. Yeah, just down at the rower, I've just noticed athletes taking on nutrition at different times during the race. You might have just seen on cameras when Lauren Weeks got off the row, that's when she took her gel. Joanna Wietrzyk was a whole station ahead of that. I mean, obviously different athletes need different energy at different times during the race, but it's interesting to see how and when they do choose to take on nutrition.
Well, the amazing thing is we got a coach in our midst here in the studio. It is very different, right? But it is like, is it a one gel or a two gel strategy is one of the things. If it is a one gel strategy, it's kind of late, station number 5.
I think it is becoming more of a factor in this. I think athletes are starting to appreciate more and more in Hyrox the importance of mid-race nutrition. I think when maybe in its infancy in the sport in these early days, it was we don't need any mid-race nutrition. We're finishing quick enough. It can't benefit us. But I think the research is showing that with the intensity of this race now, that some carbs, maybe some electrolytes, maybe some caffeine during the race can be a benefit. And like you said, maybe it's one gel, maybe it's 2 gels, but obviously when to take those is important as well.
Oh, and we might have, yeah, we've just seen it on the screen there a second ago. Here's the replay of our leader, Lauren Weeks, almost missing that turn there. Linda Meier is definitely suffering. She's struggling. She took a cup of water on the way out of the station and literally turned around to grab the second one. That's how important liquids are to her right now, and that is not a good sign.
I'm so interested to see the impact of jet lag on these athletes, because as an Australian, when we travel over to Europe, we're not going for less than a month. We know that when we are going there, we need at least 2 weeks to acclimatise to a complete change in routine and season and everything. And maybe that's what's going on for Linda right now.
I mean, if the impact, you know, of jet lag on racing is anything similar to impact of jet lag on commentary, then it's rough. Let me tell you.
I'm racing with Jane on Sunday, so I hope she's going to be understanding. If I'm a bit slow, we can blame jet lag.
Totally.
It's great to have that set up, because rumor has it last time around you let Greg down. Now this is your big chance that Greg is going to let you down in the race.
This poor man dragged me around Nice. We were in the World Champs together, and I loved it, but I have not slept since then. 18 months later, I'm ready to redeem myself.
Well, there's another world champ, or participant of the World Championship, who I'm sure hasn't slept since Chicago to figure out how to regain that title, and she is on our screen right now, Lauren Weeks. And, you know, it's just that champion mindset. It's like she has accomplished everything you can accomplish in this sport, and yet she gets up. And she gets up every morning, but also from every setback, and she finds the motivation to find a way to get back on top, and she is ready to grab the chalk, the kettlebells here. She will be our leader into the farmer's carry. And I know it looks like it's her, but she is looking good.
Agree. And I was about to comment on how her body language had been so calm until she picked up those kettlebells, and then it was all over her face. But Joanna looks like she's struggling here.
She does. That is a very different stride. I mean, this is about how I felt 150 meters into the SkiErg 2 days ago. But she looks very, you know that feeling when you're realizing you don't have enough energy for the rest of the stations, and you're kind of like within yourself and you're just hoping? She looks a little bit like that.
And Lauren really looks like those kettlebells are heavier for her right now. I haven't seen her look like this. So maybe the kettlebells do weigh more down under.
Who knows?
I just can't wait to see Sinead pick up these kettlebells, and I hope she just gives us a show.
You see, that's the weirdest thing. You never know with distances and weights and everything in Australia. It's the strangest thing. How do you drive on the wrong side of the road, yet you use the metric system for measurements? That just does not make sense.
I completely agree with you. I don't know how we do it either, and I'm surprised that we can all drive, actually.
Lauren Weeks coming through just behind the stadium, behind the booth here, and Joanna is definitely looking a lot smoother right now. She was struggling to get into the farmer's carry, but she is definitely working that station right now.
Yeah, she certainly started to move a little bit better towards the end of that than she was at the start, that's for sure.
But look at Lauren Weeks. How swiftly she was back into that run-in form. That stability, that core stability that she brings to the track here, that is a huge advantage when you're really, really tired if you're able to hold that.
Absolutely, and I love the design of the Elite track now, where you can put those kettlebells down and you're just straight out. There's no little turns or anything, you're straight back out onto that course.
All right, Sinead is doing Sinead things again. Running, stopping, running, stopping. But Lucy Proctor is ahead of her. So is Kat Purnell. And here we go. Camera is on Sinead. When she's running with those things, but it requires her to take a lot of stops here.
It's so funny hearing her speak about this as well, because she's talked about how grip strength is actually a weakness for her. So this is why she developed this strategy, so that her grip didn't give up.
I don't want to be that guy, but she didn't really have to tell us that grip strength is not her strength.
But running is.
Running is. She combines it with a grip weakness, but she's done with the farmer's carry. She'll be over the moon that it's done and dusted. And she is leaving the farmer's carry behind our leaders, and then Lucy Proctor and Kat Purnell. But let's talk about Kat here for a second. What a performance. We've been talking about it. We got all the big names in the sport, but we had that field that is so unpredictable behind Lauren Weeks and Joanna Wietrzyk. What's your take on Kat right now?
Yeah, a super impressive race. Like there's a number of athletes that we've talked about, you know, chasing for those qualifying positions that have been in the mix for a long time. But Kat has really burst onto the scene, if you like, this season. Certainly in the singles sense, she's like I said earlier, she's raced a few times already this season against a number of strong ladies. In Birmingham, she came out the winner. Dublin, she was second place, just shortly behind Linda Meier. So yeah, she's got really impressive performances already this season, and yes, great tonight so far.
Looking at what's happening here, it is the day of a former world champion, and definitely not the day of the reigning world champion. Linda Meier is struggling, but Lauren Weeks is absolutely flying. As we've gone through 5 stations here, 6 stations we've gone through already. There is 2 left. We got the sandbag lunges, we got the wall balls, and we all know how strong Lauren Weeks is on those stations. This might just be Glasgow all over again for Joanna Wietrzyk.
Yeah, it's very, very close between the two of them, though. Traditionally, in like some of these majors, we've seen like there has been a battle in those top 2 or 3 positions, but often one of them has opened up more of a gap by now than we're seeing here. So this is a very close race. We saw that in Glasgow, like you touched on. It was a great race, and that Lauren credits that battle for pushing her on to get that world record time there. So just 4 seconds separating the two of them. It really, really is close.
But looking at that, you know, the positions right now, you Brits aren't great at cheering, are you?
We've come for qualifying spots.
You've come. I mean, come on.
It's like you're a team, all 3 of you.
Yeah, give us a little bit. Come on. One German. I mean, like, come on. We got one German in the studio. Jane, you're half a German looking at your last name, so.
So 1.5.
that is a gap that's opened up between 5th and 6th there, though. It was very close between maybe 5 or 6 athletes not too long ago. But that gap between Sinead and Jess has opened up a bit more now.
But, so, Greg, you're the man for the numbers, the man for the details. Looking at who you got there, you know, it is a little bit of a gap, but we got lunges and wall balls coming up. Do you see somebody who might have a weakness at one of the stations? Is there a shot for the women behind?
It is very hard to say with those ladies that we're talking about. Like we see Lauren and Joanna, for example, very, very good on the wall balls. I wouldn't necessarily say unbroken wall balls is a given for any of those other ladies. Like they can do it. I believe Sinead's done it in the past, but I wouldn't say it's a given for any of the others. So I think there's very little to separate them on the lunges or the wall balls. And I think that was that a yellow card there I just saw for Lauren Weeks? Maybe not getting full extension at the top of the lunge. So that's a warning there. She won't want to risk getting another one, because that would mean a penalty.
And it's so interesting to look at the footwear here. The stability on Joanna's lunge there. She looks so much more stable in those, in her Pumas, and whereas we're noticing Lauren is a little bit more wobbly.
It'll be interesting to see if that makes a difference now with those 2 stations where stability is so important, the lunges as well. as the wall balls, and that might just be a factor. You know, you lose balance there on the way up, you might miss the full extensions, and there you go with that first warning. So she's got to be careful. You can see it there.
And Joanna is just a lot more stable in these lunges right now. There's no wobble whatsoever.
So
I'm still going with I don't want to head to the wall balls with Lauren shoulder to shoulder.
So Lucy Proctor come there into the lunges, so she's coming in third spot, and I have to say her running looked really, really good again as she came into those lunges. She looked super comfortable, and she started really strongly here as well. I think she's moving slightly quicker than Lauren and Joanna so far on that first length.
She is absolutely moving out there, isn't she?
Yeah. Kat Parnell came in shortly behind her, and then it's Sinead just getting started on the lunges now.
And we're just hearing from our head referee, Matt, it's a nightmare day for Sophia. You know, I know good old Tom Hogan had her packed as a dark horse here, and that is not working out. We've seen the struggle at the lunges already. She was far behind. On top of that, she has now missed a run lap, which results in an additional 3-minute penalty. It is a day she want to forget very, very quickly.
Yeah, not a day. She's just passing just behind us at the moment as well. So it doesn't look like she's feeling super strong on the runs either at the moment. Some of the other ladies are certainly moving quicker in her at the moment.
But super strong. It is not Glasgow all over again for Joanna Wietrzyk. We got a new virtual leader right now about to head out onto that run. Joanna Wietrzyk, another long step there. She's got to turn around back there, but she's gone past Lauren Weeks at the sandbag lunges. What is happening?
I don't know, but she looks like she's very stable and very focused, and even the grip on the bag is totally different for the two of them. Lauren is opting for on the outside of the bag there, and she's kind of hanging on to the bag rather than the handles, whereas Joanna is holding on to those close grips.
But could they be any less predictable? There's literally no method to the madness anymore. You know, I mean, it shows the great athletes they are. They respond after every race in training to where they've seen weaknesses, what they need to work on. And those lunges have definitely improved. The local, the hometown hero, Melbourne-born Joanna Wietrzyk is out of station number 7. She's taken the lead, and she's taken the lead by roughly 10 seconds on Lauren Weeks. So now Lauren, she's got an incredible run on her. She's trying to minimize that gap. I don't want to be either of the two now at the wall balls. That is pain train galore.
Yeah, and I touched on they can both go unbroken on the wall balls, so it could come down to speed of rep and number of no reps that they get. And Lauren's in particular normally very, very clean on the wall balls.
And she is speedy.
Yeah. So it really could come down to factors like that. So Joanna will be wary of that, I think, and not want to lose too much time on this run. Just in the battle for qualifying spots as well, it's worth just keeping an eye on Jess Petro. So we talked about how like third, fourth and fifth it looked to open up a gap, but I think Jess clawed back some time on the run up to the lunges on Sinead, and she's looking strong at the moment. So I think Jess has put herself back into the race here.
And then even Seka is only about 2 lunges behind Jess. I mean, that is still so close as we got Lucy Proctor going out. And what a day for Lucy Proctor right now.
And out of Lucy Proctor, Sinead Bent, Jess Petro and Kat Parnell, who is great at the wall balls?
It's absolutely crazy. And I mean, Lucy Proctor, she just turned 22 yesterday. It's basically her own birthday present she is about to deliver to herself.
Feels like she's been in the sport for a long time as well. We were talking about her in the UK from quite a few years ago, and she just chipped away at her times. Super impressive. Coming to Vegas last season, her Elite 15 debut, got the qualifying spot for Chicago, and yeah, really impressive athlete.
Oh, and that gap between Sinead Bend in that last qualification spot and then Jess Petro, and now Seka Arning as well. Seka Arning being called back. The last lunge was too short. Oh. Drama for the German. That is a loss of roughly 15 seconds for Seka Arning. She thought she was done. She got called back. Little bit of confusion until she realized what was happening. She was right on the shoulder of Jess Petro, and now she's about 15 seconds behind, and instead it is Gabrielle now. He's on the shoulder of Seka Arning.
And in her first elite race ever, as a solo. Gabrielle is doing so well. She's staying right there with these athletes that have done this so many times and done it so well. So it's all going to come down to the wall balls on who gets those tickets to Stockholm, which is really exciting. We wouldn't want it any other way here.
Yeah, and like I touched on this, I don't think there's a huge amount between those athletes. I don't think unbroken is a given for any of them. I believe Sinead's done it. She can look strong, but it could come down to no reps. We saw a number of no reps in Hamburg for some athletes. How clean can they be? How accurate can they be on the target? Are they getting the right squat depth? What's their speed of their reps? It's all going to play a part here.
And look at the screen, so 3:21 lunges there for Joanna Wietrzyk. Lucy Proctor only 10 seconds behind, but Lauren Weeks 24 seconds behind. So a huge difference there at the sandbag lunges. This is our leader, Joanna Wietrzyk, and what's going to go through her mind right now? You know, she's qualified. She can risk it all at the wall balls because she still has the shot at the Grand Slam. She has the shot in winning in front of the home crowds. Not just any race, but the first ever major on Australian soil. I mean, she kind of got everything to lose right now versus Lauren, who's got everything to win coming from behind.
It's absolutely risk-free for Lauren right now, whereas you're exactly right. Like, Joanna wants this so badly. She is so excited to race in front of her family and her friends, and I know that she is not going to put this ball down unless she drops two.
All right, let's count how many wall balls she's going to be ahead. It's not going to be many. You cannot afford any no reps here. You cannot really afford a lot of rest. She is going to be about 7 wall balls ahead in that vicinity, maybe 8. Yes, 8 wall balls ahead of Lauren Weeks. It is a solid number. It would allow for a very short 5-second breather if you need it, if you can't push through. But, I mean, she's got to go to the absolute limit like right now. She's got to be willing to leave it all out there for this win here in Melbourne.
But the cadence on Lauren Weeks.
Oh, my word.
It's not human.
No, it's not. we got to keep looking at those numbers. And that's it. So within the first 15 wall balls that Lauren did, she brought it down a whole wall ball already. So you do the math. There's about 6 left between them. With about 80 wall balls to go, this is going to be absolutely hectic what we're seeing down there. And we're waiting for third place, Lucy Proctor, to make her way down to the wall balls as well.
And it's the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th that I'm absolutely dying for right now. These two absolute champions, both of them in their own way, but it's that battle that I just, come on, get to those wall balls.
Get to those wall balls. Who's going to be next? We got Lucy Proctor coming into the rock zone now. She is going to be next. She's absolutely solid. And I think Sophia, unfortunately, dropped out of the race. We're seeing her stand there with the referees. That's the end for her, not today. She's pointing at her leg, but we're looking at the race ahead. We still got 7 wall balls between Joanna Wietrzyk and Lauren Weeks. Joanna Wietrzyk is definitely holding against her. We're seeing Lucy Proctor down there right now. And let me throw it down to our very own Lauren.
Thanks, Till. Yeah, you were talking about going unbroken. Lucy Proctor has only ever done that once in her entire life, and that was in Hamburg.
So, unbroken in Hamburg, she's proven it that she got her wall balls to where they need to be. We're now seeing Lauren Weeks make up a little bit of ground on our leader, on Joanna Wietrzyk, but there is only 30 walls. There was another no rep there for Joanna Wietrzyk, but she is still 5.5 reps, almost 6 reps ahead. She's going at an incredible pace. And a little bit of a stop there, a little bit of a breather from Lauren Weeks. I think that might have just been the moment she realized this. Joanna's going to take it. It's a broken round of wall balls for Lauren Weeks. Joanna Wietrzyk is about to take the win in front of the home crowds.
We don't see that very often. We don't see Lauren breaking on the wall balls very often. I think she actually did do it in Hamburg, but I think mentally maybe she'd already tapped out of being able to win that race at that point. But she was in contention there, but she's having to pause more times than we've ever seen.
The race did not unfold entirely the way we expected it, but position 1 and 2 are finishing the way we are expecting it here. She is going to take the maiden win of a major on Australian soil in front of her own home crowd here in Melbourne. This is your double major winner of the season 2025-2026, Joanna Wietrzyk. What a race, what a celebration. She said it doesn't matter if she wins or not, she's going to be the happiest person in Melbourne tonight. And I think that's the icing on the cake here. But Lauren Weeks, that's an unusual struggle we're seeing at the warm-up. She's got to bring it home in a second, but she did struggle. But let's look at the race behind as we welcome Lauren Weeks to the finish line now after 100 wall balls. It is the duel behind. This is now the race for the 3 World Championship spots. Lucy Proctor is looking real strong. She's at almost 70 wall balls. Yeah. But she has taken a break now with Kat and Sinead very close.
Yeah, I think Lucy's taking a break, but I think that might be tactical. I think she knows that she's got a bit of a gap over the other ladies. Yeah, you can see she's still got a 10 wall ball gap over Kat Parnell, who's next to her. So I think that pause was tactical, but look how close it is between some of the others.
Jess Petro, Kat Parnell and Sinead Bent, they're literally a wall ball apart. Sinead is taking a breather there. Who can push through? Who can finish them with less rest than the competition?
3 wall balls between those 3 and 2 spots up for grabs.
Oh my word. Jess Petro has gone past Sinead Bender. Kat is going strong. She is fighting. She's gritting the teeth. Lucy Proctor almost done. She's got 6 left. But what a showdown for the positions behind.
And Jess Petro is neck and neck with Kat Parnell now. So if she doesn't put the ball down, you'd think that that's third place hers.
And there's a no rep for Kat. Now Jess Petro is 1 ahead, but she has about 3 meters or more run into the finish line. This is going to be a sprint to the finish. Lucy Proctor bringing it home in 3rd, podium and qualification for the World Championship.
Jess has gone past Sinead. Sinead and Kat.
Sinead has gone past Kat now again. Too many, another no rep for Kat. Look at the drama. We're seeing Jess Petro, but it looks like Sinead Bent is striking back. Drama for Kat Parnell. Do you believe what we've just seen?
I actually don't believe what we've just seen, and I think that Kat Parnell is going to re-watch that and re-watch that.
How did that spot slip out of Kat's hand? She had 14 reps left and was 4 reps ahead of Sinead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think it might be no reps. It'll be interesting to see the number of no reps that she got, because she didn't break too many times. But I think it might have been the speed of reps, or maybe some no reps in those latter stages that ultimately cost her.
I tell you, race after race after race, those women make me age way too fast.
It's so stressful.
It's
watching
so
this.
stressful. Kat, what are you doing? Well, we're too old for this.
I know. And that's so exciting for Jess at home in Australia to actually stamp her ticket.
Yeah. But another fantastic rookie performance we've seen from Ellie Stenfors, the Finnish woman living in Switzerland. Ready, done. Now Linda Meier, great second half of the race, but just a little too late, missing out on the qualification. Again, our reigning world champion is still not confirmed for the championship in Stockholm.
Wow, but what we have seen is Joanna is now 2 from 2.
2 from 2.
Yep, so she's well on her way.
I think that's a personal best for Jess Petro as well. So racing in Australia, she's run a 60 minutes 24 seconds. I think that's at least a 30-second personal best for her. So brilliant performance from her tonight, especially on those wall balls. Looks so strong.
I've got to tell you, it's going to take less than 24 hours for Alex Ronkovic to get on the phone with Joanna to find out how you win 2 races back to back. It will be, I predict right now, this will be an early arrival for Joanna Wietrzyk to the US. Make sure she's in the right time zone, adjust to whatever you need to adjust to, because there is no other goal left right now. You don't care about winning 3 majors. Now that you've got the first 2, you're going for the Grand Slam. And Joanna, I hate to say it, but there's no more hiding. We see you.
Yeah, she's not an underdog. She's going to be hot favourite for every race now at the moment, although, like I touched on there, she's going to be going into that race, we expect, up against Megan Jacobi as well, so she's got another top athlete to contend with.
And Sika Arning, look at her. She is dropping back. She's not as empty as Glasgow, but she's tumbling again. This is Glasgow pictures again from her at the wall-balls. Oh, Sika Arning drama all over again. She is 98. She's at the absolute limit. This is the pictures we've seen in Glasgow already. She's got only 2 reps left, but she is tumbling back again. Almost too weak to hit that target. Look at that. That's basically an air ball that we're seeing right now. That is more drama than I needed on the day here. Let's go, Sika.
And that just breaks your heart, doesn't it?
Oh, just look. Oh my word, she's not across that finish line yet. It's the crawl. It's the Hyrox crawl and roll across the finish line for Sika Arning. Tanja Strohschneider coming in right behind. And not today for Sarah Krajani either. I know, Jane, you had a peck for one of the potentials for a World Championship.
Absolutely.
Spot.
She has been in the elites for so long. She is respected and loved by everybody, but I just don't think it was her day today.
No, not her day today. She didn't seem in it from quite the early stages.
Yeah.
So, she, like you say, she's often in the elite. She often performs very well, but today wasn't her day. She has booked her spot in the doubles already with Gabby Moriarty. She got that in Hamburg, but yeah, today wasn't a day for the singles.
It wasn't a day for the singles. It wasn't a day for the Germans in the women's race. But stay tuned, because we got the reigning world champion in the men's racing at 7 p.m. local time tonight as well. He is not qualified for the world championship yet either. Great thing about this men's race tonight, none of them is qualified yet.
And isn't that going to be exciting to watch?
Amazing. The lineup is incredible. We've got Hunter McIntyre returning as well. It's going to be a great watch. And yeah, 3 spots up for grabs between the 15 guys.
And Jake Dearden is in great shape as well. And he's been in Australia for a couple of weeks now.
It's been an incredible race that we've seen here. You know, looking at that, the pictures here of Joanna Wietrzyk, who took the win. She took charge of the race early on after we saw Lauren Weeks gunning out of the gate, as we know it from her. Joanna Wietrzyk taking the lead at the sled, but then surrendering it before the lunges, taking it back. And, you know, we've seen the race from the outside, but we want to know what it felt like from the inside.
Absolutely.
Joanna, that was an unbelievable performance. What a battle between yourself and Lauren Weeks, and to do it, the historic double in front of a home crowd. Can you sum up what this race means to you?
Oh my gosh, that was the most special moment ever. I'm going to get emotional talking about it. It honestly, like, that whole race, it was back and forth. You were not locked in to win that race until that last wall ball, so I really dug deep to get that over the line. I mean, I got back in the lunges and just tried to hold the lead from there. So crossing that line and hearing the whole, like, Australian crowd is just, like, absolutely incredible. My friends and my family's over there, and it's just so special, yeah.
How much has your dad been dancing?
Oh my gosh, he's there and he's like, yeah, he's dancing the whole time. I like saw them running out, and I just knew that this race was going to be mine, no matter what the result was. My family in the background, and they've never seen me race live, so the fact that they saw that and I won as well in my hometown, it's just, oh, I want to relive it over and over.
Now, you have very much established yourself as the woman to beat this season, and it's not like you didn't come into tonight's race with a little bit of pressure, but the athlete that you are and the history that you have, how do you just take that and run with it and continue these kind of levels of performances?
Yeah, all my friends in the background. Honestly, like, I back myself. I think belief is everything as an athlete and in this sport as well. Like, it's a very demanding race, and I know I put in the work behind the scenes. I work so incredibly hard, so I know that if I perform the way that I train and I'm so disciplined with everything, like, yeah, I am the one to beat, because it's pretty dangerous to know what I can do out there.
I can't wait to see it in the upcoming majors, but also in the doubles tomorrow, and then Sunday with Hunter McIntyre. You've got a busy old weekend, girl. But congratulations, and go and celebrate and enjoy this moment with your family.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone from Melbourne and Australia. The crowd was incredible tonight, so thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm not sure, but I think she's happy. I got a feeling we've got a very, very happy local hero, and she's going to go like, netball contract turned down, all in on Hyrox. What a great idea.
Absolutely, she's made the right decision here, and I just love that belief she has in herself. I think that it's so inspiring, and that confidence she has, she demonstrates it.
And that's belief we've seen in Lucy Proctor in the race here today as well. I mean, what a gutsy race from the young Brit. You know, she had all this attention, all this focus after that bang she hit the circuit with last year. And then that disappointment in the doubles at the World Championship. But she is back. What a performance here a day after her 22nd birthday. Absolutely incredible. And she did what she had to do. She separated herself from the competition. She got that spot. She played it absolutely safe. So let's hear it from her.
Lucy, can you even ask for a better birthday present than this? What inspired that performance?
Honestly, Hamburg was really tough for me, and it's been a bit of a journey over the last 8 or so weeks to come back. But I had to make some adjustments and really adjust my expectations, but also learn to believe in myself. And yeah, I just had good energy. I think before Hamburg, I worked myself up so much, but for this race, I just wanted to go out there and have fun. Like you said, it was my birthday yesterday, and realistically, I had one wish, and it came true. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself.
Talk me through your race strategy, because from watching on, you could really see that you turned the screw at the burpees. Was that always the intention? Where did you feel that you really settled into your flow state?
Yeah, you're exactly right. That was the plan. I actually watched back my races from Las Vegas and Glasgow last night, and I just knew that the best execution of races I've ever had has been races where I just did my own thing at the start, took the SkiErg really easy. I mean, we all know it's not my strongest station, and then push when it feels right. And at some point, you kind of know, and that's always the burpees for me. Realistically, it's my strongest station. So yeah, for me, it was just settling in on the ski. I actually wrote on my hand, "Be brave."
And your race.
And my race, yeah. And that was really exactly what I was doing. I had to be brave and trust my plan. It's really hard to come out of the ski last and trust that you're going to make the ground up on the field. But you know, I worked my way through. That was the plan, and I just felt amazing. And each run, I just pushed a little bit harder, and I kind of couldn't believe that I was feeling so good, but I was. And yeah, I believed in myself for the plan, and it came off. So yeah, really happy.
Wow, we cannot wait to see you take this belief into tomorrow's doubles race. You're back on the floor with Sinead Bent, but we'll let you go away and celebrate with, I know your mum's in the crowd and wants to give you a massive hug, but congratulations, you're going to Stockholm.
Thank you so much.
She is going to Stockholm indeed with a gutsy performance here. And you know, I gotta say it, the Brits would have deserved 1, 2, 3, but Jess Petro was, I'm not having this. My bestie, Joanna's taken the second win here. At least I'm punching my ticket to the World Championship. And she did it in style, she did it in fashion. Jess Petro, she's always hiding somewhere in the race, and then she is where she needs to be. Incredible performance, great to see her make that move with a very strong wall ball performance. What a race it's been, absolutely incredible. I mean, wow.
I have goosebumps, and hearing from both of those women there, and both of them demonstrating slightly different self-belief. Lucy's coming into her own with her self-belief, and Joanna is very, very sure of her ability. And it's interesting to hear two different attitudes, but two very elite athletes.
Let's see if it's really a different attitude. Let's hear it from the athlete herself.
Jess, Talk me through the latter part of that race and those wobbles. You're going to Stockholm and it all came down to the final station.
I know, you know, I'm very confident in my back half of the race, and it's just like focusing on executing every single bit, even though when you come into like station 6 and you know you're not like in the race at that point, I know like it's never over until I throw that last wobble. And that was literally the race tonight. So once I ran into the wobbles, I was like one at a time. I had no idea where the other girls were, if they were dropping or not. I was just like tunnel vision. So when I seen that I threw the ball up and I was passing girls to run to the finish line, I literally looked on the ground and was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, that's me. I was like, what? I just didn't know. Like, yeah, I'm still in shock, but that was an amazing race. I'm so happy.
To finish the race and jump into the arms of your best friend Joanna Wietrzyk, but also knowing that your family is in the crowd and we are on home turf. You've just moved back to living in Australia. I'm not sure moments get more special than this.
They really don't. I can't even put into words how special it is. Like lining up tonight, I hit the start line with such a sense of peace, just knowing that this is my home turf, my family are here, and like the outcome didn't matter because it was already so special to race here. So to get, like have that performance tonight in front of everyone, like I can't explain how special that was.
Well, I'll let you go and enjoy it because we still have a doubles race to go tomorrow. It doesn't end, but go celebrate with friends and family. You thoroughly deserve it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What a race, I say it again. Incredible performance, incredible race from Jess Petray. But so many amazing performances we've seen here. And what a drama by this woman coming back. This is the comeback after injury. She literally said, I don't know where I stand. I had to switch up my entire training. I couldn't do the amount of sessions. I had to do way less running to make sure the injury can heal. I incorporated cycling, which I'd never done before. And, you know, she did incredibly well. And I think she found her answer if cycling adds to her training or not at this point.
Yeah, her running volume was very, very low in the lead up to this race. Incredibly low. Like you said, she's done some cycling, but she's been injured since Chicago. But she came out, you know, she was, I think, third into the ski, looked super strong. So, yeah, I think she came out very, very brave tonight. It's an incredible performance.
She did indeed, and she must be over the moon.
Exactly that, guys. Sinead, having been injured to start your season, you weren't able to compete in Hamburg, but back on the competition floor, and you booked a ticket to Stockholm.
I cannot believe it. I am still in disbelief. I can't believe I just did that. It was so close. I was like third, fourth, fifth, fourth. Oh my God. But I knew Joanna and Lauren were going to be in better shape than me after being injured. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a roll down. You have to come at least top 5. So yeah, the whole way around, that's all I was thinking about.
How reassuring, though, that even though you're maybe not at your full fitness, you're still coming top 5. What does that mean for the future, Sinead Ben?
Oh my God, I can't wait to just get back on it. They always say that, don't they? I'm going to have a week off, I'm going to go on holiday. I've trained so hard for this after being injured. So yeah, I'm going to have a little break, and then at least now I can just relax a little bit, that I've got my world spot and I've got 6 months to get back fitter and back to where I was, hopefully.
Well, both yourself and Lucy Proctor have booked their ticket, or your ticket, to Stockholm, and you've got the doubles race tomorrow, especially off the back of world champs, which we won't go into detail about. But now you're 2 of you are riding so high on confidence. Yeah. How's that going to translate to the race?
Can't wait. Like, we're already buzzing. We're not going to sleep tonight.
I hope you do.
Probably not. We'll sleep tomorrow night, and then we'll celebrate Lucy's birthday as well. What a birthday, right?
It's been so great watching you out there. Plenty more races to come, and we'll see you tomorrow doing your thing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What a race it's been, and that's only been the kick-off here. Incredible racing by our 15 women, plenty of drama, and let's take a look at the results here again. Joanna Wietrzyk taking the second major, 2 out of 2 for the season. Lauren Weeks confirming, you know, her incredible consistency. Lucy Proctor, Jess Petray, Sinead Bend walking away with the qualifications for the World Championship. Kat Parnell, she is going to come back to Phoenix and make up for that loss. She handed that spot to Sinead at the Worlds. Ellie Stanford's incredible rookie performance. Linda Meier, the world champion, still not qualified for the World Championship. And then Gabriela and Nicole Baker, Melanie Mara, Manuela Garcia Cavaros, Seka Arning, kind of repeating Glasgow. Things we don't want to see, but we also know she knows how to strike back. So we're going to see her in Phoenix. Tanya Strohschneider in her second major appearance coming 13th. Sarah Pejani in 14th, not her day. And then Sofia, unfortunately, not finishing the race here at Chapter 2, Down Under. It's been an incredible race. And we're about to close it, not quite yet, but I want to say thank you to the both of you already. Jane and Greg, of course, we'll be back in just a second with the next race, the Elite 15 Men. We're going to start the pre-show at 6:30. We're going to start the race at 7 p.m. Make sure not to miss it. You got just enough time to grab a bite to eat, get your popcorn, because it's going to be entertaining. The Sheriff is back, and he's going to keep all the contenders on his toes. And of course, if you want to see the women race again in only 6 weeks, we'll be in Phoenix in Arizona. It's going to be an incredible race in an NFL stadium, in State Farm Stadium. Another race you don't want to miss. Mark your calendars. And with that, we want to say thank you to all our viewers. Thanks for joining us for the race. And what am I saying? I'm not sending you off. We see you again 6:30 for the pre-show, 7 o'clock for the next race of the day.
Yo, get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound. Hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
Yeah.